Hey, welcome back. This is Cornelius with an update here again on my Robinhood investing account. Here is my account balance as of today, Friday. Just going over a few things here. It hasn't changed much since the last update. I am up a little bit further here on my CanView call option. And I haven't bought anything new so far this week. Still just kind of riding out. And we will go over here what I did get coming in from blocks, dividends, 61 cents, NVDW, 51 cents, PLTW, 50 cents, HOOW, 83 cents, JEPQ, 58 cents, JEPI, CHPY, 60 cents, YBTC, 54 cents, and then today I did get $2.02 from HOOW, which is the highest so far since that one switched to a weekly payer. So that one's pretty good. Pretty excited about that, I guess. We'll see here. Let's go down to HOOW. Still down, obviously, on that position. A lot of these, unfortunately, I started buying into these, these kind of really high risky ETFs here, the high yield ETFs, right when they were at the peak. Right here around October, when most of these were at the peak. If we look back to our first buy of blocks, for instance, here, went back right at the beginning of October. I started buying, and I set up reoccurring for blocks. Was reoccurring BTCI, YBTC, and all the way down there. Reoccurring $5 purchases a day for a couple weeks, and then I kind of stopped that. I'll probably make another video here kind of going over my plan for this portfolio and exactly what I'm going for here. I was wanting to sell some options in this account, but I've decided to kind of keep that limited to maybe my Roth IRA, and I'll make a video about going over the Roth IRA and the options play in that account. This account, I essentially set up what's called didn't do it on purpose, but they call it a barbell account, where you have, your half of the account is high growth funds here, which is these top 5 here, and then the other account is like a high yield. The other side of it is a high yield with the JEPQ, QQQI, BTCI, and so on. I also do use a little bit of margin here to go buying power. I capped my margin total to the $1,000 because that is interest free with Robinhood Gold, so you can see how much I'm using there. Still just kind of dipping my toes in that. This is my first time messing with that, so I don't want to get too carried away. Market's also kind of really high for that right now. I'll probably start using them maybe a little bit more margin as the market comes down, and deploy margin on pullbacks and things. I can go into a little bit more detail on that, but essentially I want to, with these higher yield funds, I'm only going to have a little bit into all these different funds here that will help pay back the margin and interest if I start to use more than $1,000. $1,000, and you'll start accruing interest, and ideally the high yield section of that will start to pay that back for me, while the growth side of it can grow. I think that's it for this week. Next week I'll have another video going over my dividends for next week and see how the account grows. Thank you for joining me.